Okay, I want to welcome everybody tonight to the Inventors Association, our keynote speaker meetings that we have once a month on the first Wednesday of every month. And I'm Laura Myers. I'm the executive director. I've been running this organization for almost 12 years now. So it'll be another month or so, I'll hit my 12-year mark. So anyway, we've been around for a long time. You know what I'm going to do, actually, everybody, and I'm going to actually also introduce Karen and Keith. You may be able to see their pictures up there. They are on our board of directors. So Karen and Keith will be looking for questions, and yeah, so you'll get to know them too. So this is the official welcome to the Inventors Association. We've been around for 20 years, and not many people really know that we really have been around for a long time. We've been helping inventors navigate that difficult path from idea to market. And we actually are a group of inventors ourselves. So we're not like, professionals. We're not in the business of, making money off of inventors in any way, and nothing wrong with that, but, that's not our function, because when you actually, join an organization that does that as a business, there's different levels of expectation, that you have. With us, we're a group of inventors. We're just helping each other. We have new inventors that have, very little experience. They just have an idea. They find out about us and join to get that guidance and help. And that's actually the best time to join our organization, is at the idea level, because there's so many things you can do wrong in the very beginning that, number one, is going to affect you later and going to cost you a lot of money. So anyway, getting to us early is really very helpful to a lot of people. And then we also have very experienced inventors with patents and products already on the market. We're from all walks of life. This is one of the things I absolutely love about this group, is everybody comes from, different socioeconomic levels. They come from all over the place, all over the country, even outside of our country too. So the common thread that goes through all of us is actually, we tend to be idea people. We tend to be the people that say, like, what if I did this? What if I did that? And we love new innovative ideas. And also another very common thread is everybody is very open to helping other people. So when you do join our group, even if you have zero experience, all you have is an idea and you have no idea what to do, when you're listening to someone else in our private groups, you are an idea person. So you can help other experienced people just because your mind works the way it does. So that's one of the very cool things about, this Inventors organization. So we hold 2 meetings a month. As with everybody, it used to be in person. We are encouraged that perhaps we're going to open up and be able to meet in person again shortly. So I'm still waiting for the thumbs up on that from our venue that we hold our meetings. But our open door meetings, which is our keynote speaker meetings, those are open to the public. Anybody can join in. They're held on the first Wednesday of every month. It's always educational with a keynote speaker. So you'll learn a lot of information about inventing in general. And then we do invite people, from the inventor business community, so that you can get to know a lot of the resources that are out there. It's also a good source of networking, especially when we meet in person. That's where the networking really happens, because then you can just sit down and have a treat, have a glass of water or whatever with somebody, and talk to the people sitting around you. It's a great time to get to know a lot of other people. Okay, and then our think tank meetings. Now, this is actually where the rubber meets the road. And this is our private meetings. This is for the members only. The members, you have to have an NDA on file with us. There's an application process. We do screen our members very carefully because we are very serious about confidentiality. So you can always email me, which I'll put my email up later. If you have any questions and you want to find out more about being a member. But our members can join in on the think tank session. That's held on the third Wednesday of every month. And like I said, everybody has an NDA on file. Confidentiality is strongly enforced. We do track a lot of things. And so it's, so what that does is it gives you a very safe environment to share your information. That's a time that you can expose your product because it's considered part of your R&D, your research and development for your product. So you can share it to us because it is closed door. It's not considered a public meeting. So that's kind of a great value right there. So if you want to learn more about the Inventors Association, go to azinventors.org, or you can contact me directly. My email is on the website, but it's also EXDIR, I just call myself Exter. So you can email me at any time, and we can have a conversation by email and perhaps set up a time to talk also. Okay, and as we proceed through the presentation, Keith and Karen, who I introduced before, who are on our board, Keith and Karen are going to be looking through the chat section to identify who has a question. Our keynote speaker is Amy Carroll tonight, which I will introduce her in just a second, but she said she is really open to you asking a question as she proceeds through her presentation. She loves the interaction. Yes. So feel free to raise your hand. There's like a little hand icon, and there's also a chat box. So as she's going through, feel free to go ahead and type in your questions. Keith and Karen are going to be scanning that. And also, if you're not familiar with the Zoom, you can find the chat box by hovering your mouse at the bottom of the screen. Okay, and then the icons will appear. So with that, let me introduce our keynote speaker, Amy Carroll. And Amy is with Edison Nation. And she's like a leading team member with Edison Nation. She is a contributing member of the advisory board for Edison Nation. She's part of their leadership team. She's an advisor on with the Inventors Groups of America. I mean, this is one busy lady, full of energy, and she amazes me because anytime I email her, I was just telling Keith earlier, anytime I email her, I mean, she's like right on it. She emails me right back. And so sometimes I'm driving, I can't get back to it. But anyway, this lady is amazing. So I know we're going to really enjoy her knowledge, her background, her energy, and her willingness to really get in and help. So Amy's Amy, and she's also Edison Nation. So you put those together and you've got a powerhouse. And Amy, you are front and center, and thank you very much for being here tonight.
All right, thank you so much. First, I want to thank everyone for joining us. And I'm East Coast, so it's 10 o'clock here. But we put out like an Eventbrite thing for everyone. And Laura, I said between myself and you, we could do. I mean, we'll have enough energy and spirit and information to keep everyone going. So I'm really excited to be here. First, I want to say I do know that there are people who commented and messaged me to join. So we have hopefully some people outside of your Inventors organization that are here. And I want to give you guys kudos for everything you do. I mean, I know it takes so much work to keep these groups going and to keep the group inspired and to make sure that they have the resources in front of them to make the right decisions for themselves and their products. And it's so easy for us as innovators and creatives to fall back. And so I'm really hopeful that not only tonight will we give some information on some other opportunities, but we can encourage people if they have those ideas to move forward with them to connect with an inventor group, whether it's your Arizona group or maybe there's one closer to them, but it is so important to stay connected. There are so many resources out there that are available. And honestly, I think the innovative community is just, it's so strong. I mean, everyone is just so passionate about helping each other. It's so funny because you think it'd be a very competitive space. It is not. As you know, you've been doing this for 12 years, you said, just at the Arizona group. And it is just, it's amazing how much people want to help each other. So I just hope, if anything, people, you know, take away from that. And I know George is here, part of the Alamo group. George, you know, and he is phenomenal. They've got a fantastic group up there, and just have met the best people. And again, we're all out to, you know, support each other, to lift each other up, and to make sure that you guys get to the next level without, you know, the best way possible for everyone, whatever that might be. So thank you for having me. Laura said before, we are going to, I have a presentation I'm going to give. I love interaction. So if you have questions as I'm going through, raise your hand. You know, let's talk. Let's figure this out. There are some questions, legal stuff, that I won't, you know, deal with, but you can ask them and I'll just say, not comfortable with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. But I'm excited to tell you about Edison Nation. And while I'm going to talk about Edison Nation and what we do to help inventors, you know, get their products licensed with companies, I also want everyone to keep in mind that whether you use Edison Nation for that leverage, not everyone's right for Edison Nation. We're totally fine with that. An inventor success is an inventor success across the board. Independent inventors. I mean, that's what it's about. But the key points that I'm going to talk about, and I'll go through these, are things that you need to remember when you're out there presenting to other companies. When you're out there and, you know, you want to get a licensing, you know, deal on your own, or you want to start a business, these are things that everyone's going to look at. And so just take that into mind. You know, if you need to, take notes, but just know that there's a method behind this madness that we go through. And so I hope everyone can take a little bit away from it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on my PowerPoint and share my screen with everyone. Share. And all righty. Okay, I did this one just for you, Laura.
Very good. All right, thank you.
All right, so we're going to talk, like I said, about a little bit about Edison Nation, but really best practices for submitting your idea. And again, that's with Edison Nation, or you know, if you're doing something on your own. So we're going to go ahead and start with this. And why aren't I? Let me see here. There we go. I'm a big quote person. I get a lot out of sometimes, you know, hearing those things on a daily basis, or something that pops in there. And so excellence is a skill, not a mindset. Or I'm sorry, excellence is not a skill, it's a mindset. And so as you're going through this journey and you're innovating and you're creating, just remember there's a lot of stuff in that mental space. And so it's something you really got to work towards, and staying connected, I think, is one of the most important things that we can do, you know, not only to help yourself, but to help the other people around you. We're here for a reason. And I think the more that we can support each other, the more you'll benefit from it. And again, you know, the people around you. Why was Edison Nation started? Why do inventor groups exist? It's about connecting. Edison Nation does have a totally free platform. We have got, oh my goodness, I want to say, you know, over close to 70,000 members on our dashboard. And these are innovators, these are creators. Some are active, some are not. It's totally free to be part of Edison Nation, edisonnation.com. It's just a simple email address, a username, a password. But on there, the content that we have, we've got forums that are literally controlled by our community. So we have inventors, you know, who maybe will start a whole new forum thread on a question that they have, or they'll jump in, they'll introduce themselves. They'll say, hey, I have a question on this, or how's this going? I mean, there's a clean joke thread, you know, for those who like, you know, the clean jokes. You know, it's just a way for people to stay connected. So we've got awesome forums. We've got blogs with phenomenal information. We've got Inventing 101 blogs if you want that education. We've got our some success stories on there, just a slew of information on our blogs. Of course, like I mentioned, our community is phenomenal. We have just got fantastic people. And I think we have actually some of our Edison Nation community members on here as well. And then also on our dashboard, we have searches, because that's what we do. Edison Nation, we take ideas, innovator ideas, and we license them with partners. We try to license them with partners. We match those up. And so we have a variety of searches. I'm going to go through those in my presentation for everyone to understand a little bit more about what that is. So we connect innovators with companies to bring new products to market. That's what we do. We're kind of like the middleman. And I resonate with this very well. I am an idea person. I love creativity. I'm a busy person. Most of my kids are gone, but I'm a mom of 6, grandma of 1. And so my whole, just my whole life, I mean, I've just been busy raising kids and running around, and I've never had a normal job because that's not my personality. I've always had to do entrepreneurial stuff here and there. And right now, along with Edison Nation, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, in a different level besides the innovation. And so knowing that, just how much it takes to, take that idea from conceptualizing to making it something, I appreciate the fact that Edison Nation kind of steps in for people who are afraid, to do anything, for people who don't know how, for people who don't have the money to do something. It's just a great no risk business. So I fell in love with Edison Nation long before I started working at them, I think, which is one reason why I just love the community so much. I see the value there. And so what happens on our Edison Nation platform, we're an open innovation platform. So we bring together the sellers, which are innovators, which are inventors, to the buyers. And our buyers are actually our licensing partners, the people who we bring the ideas in front of, and we are constantly growing our list of partners. We've just, even this year, we've had just some amazing additions, to our group. We've got a way that we approach the companies, which I'll talk about, which is something that you folks also as inventors need to keep in mind. And I'll go through the real important things that we need to remember and be respectful of. We already have NDAs with all these partners. So these partners we work with have to have NDAs with us. It makes sure that our inventor ideas are protected before we go out there and present them. The communications we are the middleman for that. And so we make sure that everything is very clear. We have an attorney on site. So we have that also negotiates with our partnering companies and their attorneys. We've got a very secure review system in place. And of course, the biggest thing is protecting the IP. If someone has, that idea and they submit it, we make sure that, the intellectual property is protected with anything that comes into our system. Again, our licensing team, lots of connections. We have a review team, and the review team varies. We have a lot of people ask it. We've got men, we've got women, we've got, older people, we've got younger people. We've got a very good diverse group of people. And I'll talk about what happens once a submission comes in, but everyone sees it individually on their own so that no one's idea is influenced by someone else's. And that's very important to us. That even happened before this, before the COVID split. It was a product idea comes in, everyone looks at it independently, remarks on it, kind of does a little search on it, to get that information. But again, our licensing team handles all negotiations. They work for the best royalty rates possible. And again, that's because we don't get paid until the innovator gets paid. So it's really important, that the most we can get for the innovator is the most that we can get for us as well. And then we actually have some stories I'll talk about where we've had some successes and we continue to work for those successes even after that original licensing deal, comes to an end. So our team does a lot to keep this going. And I was telling Laura, we have a surprise guest that I'm going to be bringing in at the end of this that has some new fun stuff that we're going to be, that we're working on at Edison Nation to provide even more opportunities. So stay tuned to the end if you can. But we also maintain the IP files. We make sure that the maintenance deadlines are done. When you license a product, all that patent maintenance fee and stuff, it's off your shoulders. We take care of all that. So we literally take care of everything an inventor would have to take care of. if they had a licensing deal on their own with a company. Just some of our many partners that we have. And like I said, we're consistently growing more. All right, so you have an idea, now what? So your options, it looks like we're running off, I have a big screen there, but there we go. Your options, you can make a business, which is great. We, you know, many people do that. It does, you know, it's costly. It takes a lot of time, commitments. There's lots of due diligence. So you need to think about, is it worth it? And again, this is where inventor groups also come in handy. You know, they can take you through that process and give you a real, you know, eye view on what you're looking at if you want to start a business. Is that best for you? Is it best for your family? You can license it yourself. There are so many resources out there. And Laura, I think you've got some, you have product on the market, correct? And you did, I mean, you went through that whole thing. Yeah. So you've been successful in that, and you can license it yourself. You can be successful. That's absolutely an option that you have. It's a lot of work, a lot of due diligence. It can be done, and it can be very rewarding because you did it yourself. And then there's Edison Nation. And again, we have a professional licensing team that is that person that comes in and kind of takes that idea from fruition, and it can be just an idea sketched down. You do not have to have a patent. You do not have to have a prototype made. We can work with it with just a few really important things, which I'll talk about here in just a few minutes. Some opportunities you have through Edison Nation. We have got an insider licensing program, and this is a program for products that are already patented. We have an 8-step program. The insider licensing program literally skips steps like 1 through 4. So it's kind of a speed up process because it's already been patented. Our team doesn't have to do as much due diligence work on the patent search that we would normally have to. Open searches is the most common. That's to say, I'm cooking in my kitchen. Oh my gosh, I don't like how this utensil works. I've got a great idea how to make this better. I'm gonna go to open searches, put it in the kitchen product category and submit it there. So that's kind of open-ended to anything. Live product searches are a lot of fun, and we are in talks to get one started. I'm hoping within like the next 6 weeks. I cannot tell the product category yet, but what these are is we have companies that we work with that come to us, and they are looking for something new and innovative to add to their product line. They know we have got a huge group of innovators. So they come and say, hey, Ian, you know what? We want a product. We're looking for a new product in this category, and we want it to be this price point. And we want it to have, you know, these, you know, maybe a few features or some things to let people think about. And then we create a beautiful, you know, kind of search for it, and we push it out to our community. You don't have to be an EM member to do this. And then our, you know, our community innovators, they look at the criteria, they look at what the company is looking for. Hopefully they can think of something fun. And the cool thing about this is if you've got someone, you know, innovating who's like stuck on pet products and stuff like that, yet there's something out there that has to do with housewares or, you know, kids' toys or something, it makes you think in a whole different way, you know, because literally you have a company saying, I want more of this product category in this. So these are a lot of fun because you actually have criteria to invent within, and you have a company, you know, that's looking to license a product. So those are fun. So keep your eye on that. And I actually have some stories on my slideshow. I'll talk about that. And our design challenge as well. These are kind of neat. And I have an example I'll show as well. And this is literally, these are so simple. This is pretty much, this is really, the whole thing is given, is like placed out. We have Parasta coloring posters, and it'll be easy. You'll be able to understand this a little bit more when I show you. But literally we're just saying, we like this product. This is where we want to stick. We just want a few tweaks on it. And then innovators kind of look at that. And if, you know, if something's picked up, if an innovator has an idea that, you know, the company says, oh, that's perfect. You know, that's exactly kind of the design we were looking for this particular product, you know, then that's a success. So we love those as well. I'm going to go through these in detail because this is what I want people to take into consideration when they're talking to companies, when they're thinking about their own product idea. But what we do is we have got, for open searches, we've got an 8-stage evaluation process, and I'll go through each of those. We've got a dashboard that updates the innovator through every stage. You know, this is not something where we can call innovators up every time it passes, but They get a notification on their dashboard as it goes through stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. So we just ask the innovators, keep an eye on their dashboard to know the progress of their idea. Our insider licensing program, like I said, is just the 4 stages. So it cuts out the first 4. And the things to think about, and this is when you're inventing for Edison Nation, for yourself, for another company, you want competing products, the uniqueness of your product, the retail pricing, manufacturing costs, the liability and safety. I see a lot of things that come into our portal and people aren't really thinking about the safety of some things, especially when it comes to children's products. You've got to think about, the stability and electrical products as well too. There's a lot of due diligence and things that need to go into that. So while we're not saying don't submit them, those need some extra caution and care before you do. These are things you need to consider before you send them in. If the idea can be patented, that's always a plus. If you're gonna submit an idea to a company, even though we have licensed products that have not been patentable, it's definitely a perk and it makes it go a lot further in the process, and you've got a lot better success rate if it can be patented. So those are things to keep in mind. So our 8-stage evaluation process, if someone signs up for an Edison Nation account, and again, you don't, it's totally free. It's email, username. It's $25 to submit. And what that $25 does is it gets you, your licensing team, a large team of people who, look at these submissions, they evaluate it. I'll go through the steps they go through. Edison Nation is, I don't like to call us an invention company because we're not. What we do is we license products with companies. And so Edison Nation, actually at the end, we only take revenue when the innovator takes revenue. So it's a 50-50 royalty split once the product gets commercialized and on the market. And you can go to edisonnation.com. You don't even have to sign on to your account. Go to the About, go down to the FAQ. On the FAQ page, you'll see something that says legal. Our legal documents are right on the site. We want to be so transparent with everyone. It's 19 pages. It's a very easy read. Everything is spelled out there. So please, we want to be, like I said, very transparent with everyone. Read through it. If you have an attorney, take it to them or show it to someone, talk about it. But we're really a very simple process, and we want to, do our best for our innovators. So you submit to the site. Like I said, it's a simple email address, user password. You submit your idea for $25, and there is a whole submission platform, which I'll show you. But within the first 48 hours, you'll get a green box that says submission received. That's stage 1. Pretty easy. It's saying you submitted your idea successfully. It's back, back into our review team. 2 is pre-screen. And this is really important, Laura, and I'm sure that you guys at your group talk about this. The pre-screen is really, we don't want to find it. If we Google something similar, in our search bar, we don't want to find it on Google and on Amazon within the first 3 seconds. So that's a pre-screen for us. As our team works back there, they throw in some descriptive things, or maybe, hey, how is this solving a problem? And we see what kicks back for us. So that's the pre-screen, and that's step 2. If we go ahead and we start doing a search and we don't see things, that kind of match up with yours, that, where your idea is different enough, then it passes stage 2, and we're going to go on to stage 3. Okay, and so this is a copy of kind of what you see when you submit on the Edison Nation site. Is the first thing you'll have your title. So you want to title it, and we just did this off an airplane because we didn't want to, mess with anyone's idea or anything like that. What you'll have there after that is your category, and that would be the category that your product fits in. And you should know that. If you know your product well enough, you should know, is it a kitchen thing? Is it a, pet thing? Is it a kid thing? So you want your product category and then a detailed description. And that's really talking about what the product is, what it's about. And notice we say here, you want to be as detailed as possible, but you also want it to be as simple as possible. You want it to be, we call it, there's something we have in one of our blogs. It's like the 8-year-old rule. If I go and I tell an 8-year-old about my product idea, I want that 8-year-old to be able to go and tell her friend exactly what my product is and understand it. It should be that simple. I had an example just last week we had a product come in, and I was one of the reviewers that kind of peeked in on it. And I didn't understand, honestly, anything about what this product, I mean, it was not described well. And that's not saying anything bad about the innovator. It didn't make sense on how it was put down. And I don't think, and we had some other reviewers note the same thing. So, this innovator also ended up calling our support line, and I happened to take the call. And, the question was, did you understand what I was submitting? Well, right there is a problem. You're not, if you're out there, talking to companies and even trying to license it yourself, you're not going to have these companies call you back and say, hey, can you explain to me what you're trying to, what you're trying to sell me, what you're trying to tell me about your innovation. So take the time, talk to someone, connect with, Laura, I'm pushing your group tonight because it's so important to, you don't have to go it alone. Talk to people and just get those connections and get that extra set of eyes and that extra set of ears to make sure you're doing this right. We want to see you be successful. So make sure that, people understand your description. It doesn't have to be long, just clean, clear, and concise. And then the big thing is what's innovative about your invention. And this is really where your, that statement comes in. It's your opportunity to say, what can I patent? What makes this idea patentable? What is that one thing that makes it different, that makes it unique in function, or, what it is that's going to make it stand out so you can have it protected by IP. All right, so stage 3 then, we do an initial review, and this is where we look into the patents, not so much the Google search. So we're digging a little deeper now. Sorry about that. We look a little deeper. So we look for products and patents that may be similar. So we look for, maybe infringements, just anything on that. And this is a little light tiptoe around the stuff that we do, just to know if we can take it a little bit further. So if it goes past, it goes into stage 3, then it goes into 4. And this is where we really dig into the prior art, the competitive landscape, which is so important, and the development cost. Those are things you have to consider, the cost of development of this product. And so this is stage 4. And again, every time it goes through a stage, you will get a green, one of the green boxes marked off your dashboard. So this is our way of communicating with you that, it's going through the process. There will never be a time, while you might have to wait sometimes for, for the box to move, you will always know if your idea is still in the running or if perchance it's been knocked out. And that's kind of nice, because I know a lot of companies, we even have companies sometimes where a product doesn't work for them and it's difficult to get information. So an innovator will always know, even though it might not be on the timeline that they like, whether a product has gone through or not. Okay, I'm going to go back to our process as far as the submission form. Competitors. We have a lot of people, and I have another slide after this too that's going to pinpoint on this. You want to find competitors if you can, whether it's how the product is used, whether it's the solution that you are finding. You want to find your competitors. You should never read none. You want to do your research, and because the important thing about the competitors is this is where your idea is better than anything else available. This is why your idea is going to make me stop using what I'm using to use your idea. So important. So we have a lot of people who might say, oh, there's nothing out there like it on the market. That's great in one sense, that it's innovative. But first of all, there's a lot of R&D that goes involved. And secondly, it doesn't show, is there a market out there for it then? Are there enough people who are going to buy it? You want to find your competitors. If you can find a competitor with, around the product idea that you are submitting, then you can show us why yours is so much better. What solution are you providing that this competitor is not? People are buying this product that's already out in the market. So how is yours standing out? So that's really important. Don't hide from the competition. All right. And then it talks about the other stages, your submission process. Do you have, design on it? Do you have prototyping? Do you have, your patent, things like that? So we want to make sure too that when you submit to Edison Nation, if you have things, if you have a picture of a prototype you've made, we don't care what it looks like, attach it. Okay. We've had submissions come in and people have prototypes or videos or how it works, and we see nothing. It's really important to, give us that visual when you can. And obviously, like I said, we have the attachments there, and you can, on our site, you can upload videos, photos, you can upload, as many things as you want. You can, your provisional patent application, your patent, doesn't matter. We want as much information as you have on this idea. Okay, what's your product or service? So those are the things that you want to remember when you're working with your product or idea. Again, the definition should be simple and concise. You want to point out those benefits. What makes it unique? That is the innovation. The uniqueness is the innovation. That's what you need for your IP. You want to know how it differs from your competition. Look at the convenience. The ease of use is so important, the design and the efficiency. And then of course, again, I'm going to just dig this in tonight, the value proposition, because that's what's going to make your idea, be able to be commercialized. All right. Don't hide from your competition, make it better. All right. So we have our 8-stage process. What happens, I have this, so what happens when it doesn't make it through all 8 stages is that any stage it doesn't make through, it's what we call the red X. And this is exactly what it looks like on your dashboard. Here you've got, your submission was received, pre-screen, initial review, research. So it went through 5 stages, and then it got knocked out at stage 6, which is final IP review. So let's say that, you submitted your idea, and right away, we Googled something, and there's that product idea that came up right away. You get a red X at stage 2. And that means your idea is no longer in consideration for, our team to consider. It's just not going to work. We do have a couple blogs, and actually I like to tell people, read these blogs before you submit your idea. Okay. They're called, we've got 3 altogether. It's a fly on the wall. And this is kind of neat because this tells the whole thing of, once I hit that submit button for Edison Nation, what happens to my idea? It's scary for a lot of people. I'm giving someone else, privy, my information, my idea. But this talks about what happens once someone hits that submit button and it goes back into our review team. Some of the things that are said, the process it goes through. So it's really simple. You just go to our, go to blogs on the edisonnation.com site, and you can type in a fly on the wall. I think it was maybe 2 months ago, so it's not too far down, or you can put it in the search bar. So that's a good one. And then behind the red X, part 1 and 2, I think are my favorites, because this actually breaks down stage by stage. And this one, this says, okay, I got a red X on, stage 3, initial review. Well, this is what may have happened. These are what some of the things that the reviewers say most commonly. And so it's a really good thing to read before you even submit, because it takes away those mistakes that you might have made before you submitted. So it's really kind of a backwards way of going through this in order to avoid those things that would knock you out, at the end. This is an example. When you hear things like there's competing products already available that offer similar solutions, our team's saying the wow that you had to set it apart from the competition is not strong enough to influence the market to leave what they're using and try a new product. The solution benefit is too similar to other products. So these are the things behind, what we say the red X that you want to think about. The bottom line's simple. And these are the 2 things that we find that most products out of the market. Money. Can money be made after all product costs are incurred? People need to consider that. There's a price to make the product. There is the price you're going to have on the market. How much am I going to sell? So that is very, very important to consider. And then again, are there enough consumers in the market that will buy the product to make, these companies get above that red line, and that's market appeal. So those again are things that you need to consider in doing your product. Maybe you need to, look at your market and see, can I tweak my product a little bit so maybe, you know, it grabs, you know, maybe not only women of just women, you know, of this age group, but maybe I can expand that a little bit more here. Or maybe it's one that can be more, you know, gender neutral, where I'm not isolating men or women, you know, or incorporating more of an age group. Excuse me. So those are things you also want to consider too when thinking about your market. All right. Any questions? I keep going and I haven't stopped. Excuse me. Are we good?
Yeah. Amy,
Yeah.
actually, I have a question,
Yes,
if that's okay with you.
absolutely.
And then, you know, while I'm asking my question, Karen and Keith, if you can scan to see if there's anybody else. But as you're talking about the stages, you know, the 8 stages, is there any kind of general timeline?
Oh.
For example, the first stage, are we talking a week or are we talking 3 months or?
The first stage I love because it's like 24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
That's my favorite. I can guarantee you that. Stage 2, you know, hopefully a week or two. And that is, I have a slide coming up. And actually, I don't know, we have an innovator on here. His name, he's with Edison Nation. He's one of our community members. His name's Ray. I know he's out on East Coast, but I think he said he might join. But he actually has a product that's made it pretty far in our stage group. And it's kind of there. And it's there because we're waiting to hear from companies. You know, so once it gets to a certain point, it gets really difficult. And then also depending on how much competition is in that product category, I would say stage 4 and stage 6 are the most difficult, because that's where more in particular stage 6, because that's when we're really involving a legal, you know, and IP and things like that. And there's a lot of deep digging. You know, the one reason we have such great relationships with these companies, and if they will look at products, you know, that we bring to them, is because our team does a phenomenal job of due diligence. You know, and while I know that's hard for innovators sometimes to understand, I think that's the most difficult thing is, you know, I let my idea go, and yet I'm counting on this dashboard to keep me updated, and I'm green, which is great, you know, but I've been green on 3 for, you know, 2 weeks now or 3 weeks now. What's going on with my product? And unfortunately, with how it works, sometimes we don't even have the answers. Our review team, you know, if it goes to some, you know, everyone reviews it, like I said, independently. Sometimes there's a question a reviewer might have or a comment they might have that maybe reviewer 1, 2 didn't think about. And so when they post that, it goes, you know, I mean, that's something that everyone else looks at again then, you know, and it goes to that whole cycle where people are talking about it and saying, oh, I didn't think about that. Or, you know, I'm a female, so I'm going to see things differently than some of these guys over here, right? And if they don't like this one product, then I'm going to say, well, wait a minute. You know, you need to look at this a little bit differently, you know, from my point of view. And so it gets really hard. I really wish, and that is honestly, we had a team meeting today. We have them like every Tuesday. That is one of the biggest things that our EN review team is working on. Is there any way to make this a little more efficient, you know, for our innovators? Because we know what goes on behind the scenes, which makes it easy for us. It doesn't seem like a lot of time because we're constantly doing stuff, but we want to put ourselves on the other side, you know, of the screen and try to understand, okay, but these people don't.
Right.
You know, they don't know I'm talking.
Nerve-wracking.
Yeah, they don't know I'm talking to Chris. They don't know I'm talking to Scott. They don't know I'm talking to Gabby.
Right.
You know, and so that makes it hard. So that was a great question. And the only one there's a definite on is that number 1 stage. But like I said, we're working on ways to speed it up. And I have an example later on of one that actually went through the process and got licensed within like 5 months, which was phenomenal.
That's
you know,
awesome.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that really is. I love the part that you have so many different eyes looking at
Yeah.
it. I went through that myself when I had a product for little girls, but actually I presented it, you know, to a bunch of guys, you know,
Yeah.
that they all had sons. They didn't have little daughters, you know. So you're absolutely right. People look at it from different viewpoints. We have a couple more questions here too.
Okay.
Penny Lindbergh who's one of the inventors that here in Arizona. They have an awesome product. And Penny wants to know if your product is already patented, and whether that be a design patent or utility patent, and already on the market. But they want to take it even further. Is that something you all like to do also?
Okay. I have a special guest coming on at the end of the show that's going to talk about something like that. This is so neat. So actually, I'm home based in Indiana. Our corporate office is in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and I'm actually in Charlotte tonight because we came in. We've got some just fun things happening that actually have to do with that. So we work, obviously we work with, inventors with ideas and things like that. But we also know, and this goes exactly to what she's talking about, there is a gap. And it gets hard when you're selling product and you need money to maybe fund more inventory, or you need, you've got to have, those funds that you don't have enough to get bank financing. It gets crazy. So we've got a couple options. One we'll definitely talk about. We're also working on a couple other things. So I would absolutely, I would say, my email will be at the end of this, and I think that we will probably be able to talk with her a little bit further if she's looking at doing something like that, whether it's, maybe adding another SKU to her product line itself, or maybe it's, figuring out how to maybe fund some more inventory or things like that. Those are things we're working on because we know that those are opportunities that a lot of entrepreneurs don't have, just because there's that weird growing space, that can make it so hard. And so we are actively, and I think we've got some exciting things that we're doing to help bridge that gap. So
that's awesome.
Very excited about that. That was an awesome question. I would think I planted her tonight.
Okay, so Penny's going to be here till to the very end.
I hope so. Yeah,
she will be. She's awesome. We have another question from Joy, and this is interesting because a lot of times people that come to us have retail products, toys or kitchen gadgets or something like that. But we also have inventors that have medical products, very specific. And with Joy, her question is, what if I have two medical patented products that are not on the market? Is that something you would take a look at?
Absolutely. I swear, this is so great. We actually had one of our conversations today was about one of our innovators that had three. We do have Edison Medical, which they were doing a lot of the PPE stuff. But now, we're looking, we work with medical products. We've got a whole division. We've got some awesome relationships. Awesome relationships in that category. So absolutely, they do not have to be on the market. And again, my email will be at the end of this. So let's talk first. I want people to get comfortable with who we are and what we do, and then they make the decision, from there. But absolutely, that's very, very neat.
And we also have Ray Anthony, who has raised his hand.
Him.
That's
Ray,
okay.
Timing guy.
I am going to ask him to unmute so that he's going in here. Okay, so let's see. Oops.
Okay, Ray Anthony.
Hey, there's Ray Anthony.
Hey, hey, I'm
Did you hear me call you out earlier?
Oh yes. Hi, Amy. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to be with Assn. And I'm very proud to be with you guys. I'm very honored. But anyway, yes, I'm the guy at the Eversizer, and I'm at stage 6. And I talk to a lot of people, physical therapy, nursing homes, and like everybody loves it. So.
And obviously you're on 6. We do too. I think I emailed you too before this. It's one of those things where when you get to the higher levels, that's when we're actually, presenting and waiting for feedback from other companies. And it's so hard because we've got to be respectful of their timelines, and sometimes that means, they disappear for weeks, but yeah.
Well, anyway, I hope I can meet the team someday. And I shouldn't say this from anybody, but you're very beautiful. I got to tell you that.
You know what? That's
you.
actually, I told Amy that too, because she's on a different time zone than us. And I said, boy, if it was that late in my world, I'd have my jammies on, no makeup.
Well,
Okay.
well, Amy,
She's beautiful.
well, anyway, I'm an Italian guy. I just tell you how it is.
That's right. You know what? I got to I think I talked to you before. I have Italian in my blood. So I was born up there in a Potsdam area. So, yeah.
All right. Thanks for your help.
Absolutely. You know, like I said, we are working on it. Yours was one of those where it came in and it just was, you know, I mean, it just got green lights all around, but now
Oh, wow.
it's a matter
It's a wow.
of, yeah, doing, you know, see what we can do. So it's one of those, you know, the patience things. And, you know, like I was mentioning before, you know, it gets back there and I know what our team is doing on it, but we, you know, we totally understand that it's hard for you as an innovator when you're sitting on the other side and not seeing the constant interaction. And, you know, it's one of those, you know, kind of growing points and something that we acknowledge, you know, because we do.
It's
care
okay.
about
I
our
get
innovators.
patience anyway.
Even as an Italian?
I'm a really patient guy. Okay, Amy, take care of yourself.
All right. It's
Bye.
good talking to you.
You too. Bye.
Okay, thank you, Amy. I think that's all the questions we have right now.
Yeah, Amy, there's
Yeah.
one I've got
Oh,
privately from, if I butcher your name, just forgive me, but it's Ajay? AJ?
AJ Goali?
AJ? Yeah. AJ, why don't
Okay, let
you
me,
unmute yourself? It's, I'll read it briefly. It says, if I already have IP prototype ready, does your organization support go-to-market licensing options? And what are the terms in such case?
What was that again? Can you repeat that?
I think I'll have.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it. I think I have a patent, a prototype ready. I was wondering what are the licensing options, and if that is where in the game. I was wondering if your organization can support it. That was
Yeah,
my
I mean, if there's a product that's already patented, obviously we work with those. Actually, those are phenomenal to work with because they're already IP protected. It still goes through the 8-stage process. We do have a couple options like the insider licensing program, which kind of jumps over the first 4 steps. But absolutely, I mean, we will work with that. It does go through, you know, our standard innovation agreement, which, you know, I mentioned before, you can find online under legal, edisonnation.com under the FAQ section, and
Yeah.
it goes through that. You know, so you check that out for sure, you know, and again, my email is going to be at the end of all this. I welcome anyone to email me any questions. I mean, if I can't answer, I'm a really good connector and I will, you know, try to get you to the right person who can help you. So.
Hey,
Sure,
Amy,
thank you.
we have another question from Alex, and he says, who does the initial IP review? Is this done by a law firm, or like who does also the patent?
Our initial IP review is done by our review team. So, and it goes through a couple eyes. And so what happens is when idea comes in there and we do the initial, you know, we go and we'll paste. This is a section, you know, that obviously we see, but for every idea that comes in, there's a whole nother section, excuse me, that we have, and every reviewer has their own like comment box and things like that where they can put stuff in, and we'll copy and paste links, you know, whether it's to a patent, whether it's to a product, you know, we find on Amazon or Google and things like that. And so, and actually, I'll be honest, we even do that like in the right when a submission comes in sometimes. If, you know, an innovator, if one of our review team has time or whatnot, they might just literally jump on there and do that right away and see if they can find a few things to attach to compare. So, you know, our review team does that, but we do have a legal team once it gets to that point that actually works pretty tightly with us. You know, we'll bring questions. I mean, you know, Scott, he's our VP of intellectual property and licensing. He's been with Edison Nation forever. And he's, you know, pretty spot on. I mean, just knowing and doing this for so long has a lot of that IP knowledge just inbred in his brain. So.
Okay, and I have actually unmuted Alex so he can talk. And Alex is actually on our board of directors also.
Yeah.
He's a patent agent.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, it sounds like a lot of people review it, but is there an actual patent prior art search that's done to, see if there's prior art that would anticipate the idea?
Yeah, absolutely. There has to be. There has to be. We actually do the prior art search. And again, we've got, we do, our team is pretty knowledgeable on all this. I mean, this is something that, we have to know how to do, that our team has to know how to do. Some have been doing it longer than others. That's not to say that the newer ones, sometimes they're better because, they're really digging deep. But if we ever have questions or concerns about something like that, like I said, we do have our legal that jumps in there. But yeah. But we do want, and I will tell you this, that $25 that, it is to submit, that to us has always been a stop, think, did you do your homework before you submit? $25, can go a long way. I mean, $25 is $25. So really, to have a free platform is one thing, but then you just get, there's no way you can keep up with it. It would be crazy. So honestly, the $25 to us is a due diligence. And it's like, hey, you know what, before you submit an idea, let's do a little bit of a prior art. We're hoping people take the time to see if their product, might be out there at some point. Have you done, a prior art search, just to kind of see what's out there, Google Images, anything patent wise that might infringe. So it's really kind of a stop and think before you hit that submit button and before you pay $25. So.
Okay.
Awesome.
Are we good?
I think that's it as far as the questions go right now. And I was just
there
going to say that is $25 well spent. I wish I would have known about Edison Nation way back when I had my idea. So that really is good.
So that's included, the legal search is included in the $25, or is it? Because it's $25 seems like that wouldn't even come close to.
You know what?
Your searching costs.
In that, honestly, in that, I totally we get that a lot. That is why it's so important that our innovators are educated by people like you. Edison Nation doesn't make money until the innovator makes money, until that product is out there on the market commercialized. Okay, when this company was started, when Louis started this, Chris is our CEO, he's Edison Nation, which is, like I said, little surprise visit maybe in a little bit here. The purpose was to prevent inventors from going out there and spending money that they didn't have for taking these things. I mean, product ideas, as you know, it's really hard to get a product commercialized. There are so many factors out there. It can cost, there are just too many stories out there of people that have just been, taken for everything they have for something that never makes it to market. And so our whole objective, and I know what you guys do, at the Arizona group and these other groups, George with the Alamo, is to educate, the resources you can provide. Edison Nation, and that's what we get 50-50 off the royalty at the end. That's how we get paid. And so we want the best submissions to come in, which is one reason I'm sitting here not only talking about Edison Nation, but what inventors can do to make sure that their best idea comes forward. Think about these things. We want you to be successful, not only for yourself, but if you submit to Edison Nation, we're successful. We can keep doing what we're doing. We can make sure, that inventors can put their idea on a platform at no risk. I mean, that is so important to us. Our company, our team has just got a huge heart. And we are really about, the inventors and the people. So while the $25, you're right. I mean, it doesn't cover, the patent search and all the other stuff that we do. That's why those ideas need to be great. So we can actually get them in front of companies who actually say, you know what, this is all right. We can make some money off this. And then everyone wins. So.
That's awesome.
We good?
We're good. That's
all right. Let's go on.
Right now.
All right. All right. So stage 5 is final consideration. And this is really fun. This is after all that crazy IP stuff, pretty much. I've got stage 6 to go on, but this is where we know, hey, you know what? This product has mass market appeal. We think that if this gets commercialized, we're going to make enough money to get this company above the red line. And this is actually where we actually start getting really excited, because we're like, oh, you know what? Even though when products come in, we already know, oh, this might be a good fit for so-and-so, so-and-so. This is where we get serious about it. And it's like, okay, let's put this on paper. You know, who are the ones we've worked with before, and who are the new companies, who are the new relationships, you know, that we've met recently who might fit with that. So that's stage 5. Stage 6 is a deep dive, and that's where Ray's sitting right now. And we're working with our legal team on, you know, some of the patent things. We are getting it ready, you know, possibly even at that point, you know, putting it in front of companies. You know, saying, hey, is this going to fit with, you know, your product line? Do you feel this is a good fit, you know, with your company and things like that. So this is a really deep dive, difficult, but, you know, a lot of good information, a lot of good stuff comes there, because number 7 is actually when we're actually, and I'll flip over here.
And Amy, before you move on to 7, may I back up just a little bit?
Yes.
Just because I know there's several people associated with the Inventors Association that has food products.
Food products, okay.
Yeah, and sometimes they look for food chemists. Is that something that would fit into your realm?
You know what? We've not had, I'll be honest, we haven't had a lot of, we've had things submitted, but we haven't had a lot of, I don't even want to say success, that doesn't sound great, but not a lot of relationships, you know, that have come through to it. But I will tell you, I'm trying to think here. I mean, I talk with so many people in a given day. I mean, I could even, you know what, if they want to email me afterwards, I could possibly see if maybe, you know, I'm always, because I'm talking with people, sometimes those things, you know, that don't work for me now. So have them, you know, I'll tell you, just email me afterwards, and I will see, I make a few phone calls or emails and see if maybe I can at least be a connector to the next step. And then hopefully from there it can, you know what I'm talking about, Laura. So, you know.
Okay. And, you know, I asked that question actually for Amy, who I know, and I knew she was in the background. She just put into the chat, thanks for asking that question. I was going to ask her, and you beat me to it. So anyway, so Amy, get in touch with Amy.
Yeah, please do, because, you know,
email me, Amy, and I'll put you two together.
Yeah, because when you said that, seriously, my mind is like, I mean, something's clicking back there, but I can't pull it out right now, what I'm trying to think of. And I think it was something that I heard or read, or, you know, maybe a relationship that we had, that I might even be able to say, hey, check this out. So have her connect with me afterwards, and hopefully my mind, you know, on Eastern time will,
Thank you, because she has a very cool idea. So, okay. All right. That's all with the questions for right now.
I see a hand.
Yeah, Ray Anthony's got his hand up. And he can unmute and talk. Ray, you there? Ray?
That's all right.
No.
All right, it's okay.
I think that wasn't.
We'll go.
That may have been from before.
Okay, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
It's Ray.
Hey.
Did you have another question, Ray?
Yes, I just want to tell everybody that the Airsizer is going to be very big in the market. So if you see it in the stores, I'm just telling you, I can vision it. I'm Italian. I can vision it. I see it. I see it in the stores already.
Okay, awesome.
All right, guys.
We love the passion.
Thank you, Ray.
Yeah.
I just want to share that. Okay. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Amy, I think we're ready to roll.
Yeah. Okay, ready to roll. I'll keep going, because I know I can talk, but I love the interaction. You guys have had awesome questions, and I love this.
I know I talk a lot, but
so
just me.
Stage 7, and this is something I want to point out. This is when we're presenting. So let's say that you have an idea and you're like, oh, you know, I want to see who I can get to maybe look at this idea, license it myself. Okay. We're totally fine with that. The only time, so we've had innovators who have submitted a product to Edison Nation to see what we can do with it, and at the same time taken this idea to see what they can do with it. So it's kind of like dual runs, you know. I mean, they can do what they can, see if it's, you know, in their blood to actually go through the whole process. The only time we ask an innovator to stop, hold back, don't present your idea anymore is when it gets to stage 7, because we are actually presenting that to companies. This is where we are bringing your idea in front of companies. You know, we've got our sell sheets, we've got our, you know, stats, our market information, and we have these companies who we know are interested in this product. The last thing we want to do, bad business, is to, you know, kind of dangle a carrot and then take it away. You know, so we have an exclusivity period that enters in when a product gets to stage 7. It's for 6 months. Usually it doesn't take 6 months for us to get a solid yes on an idea, you know, or even a solid no. You know, if we take it to, you know, 15 companies and everyone's like, no, 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 we'll reach out to the innovator and say, you know what, we know that, you know, there's like 3 more months on this, but we've really exhausted all our efforts, you know, because we don't want the innovator hanging, you know, and waiting, you know, to know what's going on. So legitimately, from the time someone submits an idea at Edison Nation, and actually through the whole thing, it's always the innovator's idea. We're working to see what we can do, you know, to license it with a partner. But if that innovator wants to go out and see what they can do on their own, absolutely. You know, I said this at the beginning, you know, an independent innovator success is a huge success for all of us. So, you know, we want people to, you know, to do what, you know, to do what they feel that feels right. And it's, you know, Laura, like, you know, it's a great experience to go out and do it on your own too. You learn a lot.
Yes.
You know, you learn whether you want to do it or not, you know?
Exactly.
And then obviously stage 8 is success. And that means we actually have a signed licensing deal. And that's when a whole nother presentation starts, which we won't go into tonight. So, and Laura, this kind of goes to your question too, timing. The easiest thing is that first stage, you know, the 24 to 48 hours. The research part gets a little more difficult because we take it seriously to make sure that we live up to the standards that we know our innovators deserve and also the companies we work with deserve. That's really important to us. And then it talks about stage 7 being the exclusivity period. Our goal, we don't want an idea sitting in our portal if it's not going to go far. You know, so we want to get those out as soon as possible. It's only fair to our innovators and also to our team, you know, because that takes manpower off our team and what we're doing. But we still are going to give every submission the best chance possible. So if something comes in and the first 2 reviewers don't like it, we're not kicking it out right away. We're going to make sure the people, you know, see it who need to see it, you know, so it gets a fair run of all that. So it, you know, it might take more time than an innovator likes, but we are working hard for innovators. See your hand up?
Yeah, can you talk a little bit, Amy, about the kinds of companies that you have a relationship with and what happens if you get ideas that you know are not going to fit any of their needs, that you need to expand your scope of companies, or just talk a little bit about your relationship with the companies you have, how many you have, how easy are they to approach? Do they know you?
The companies we have are very easy. I mean, we have good relations with them, and actually, just this year, we've actually had quite a few companies who've actually reached out to us. You know, who said, "Hey, we want to be involved in this. We want to see these." And actually, one of the live product searches that I was telling you about that we think is coming up is someone I just spoke with like 3 weeks ago. He heard we had a lot of great innovators. He's like, I mean, you know, these are marketing departments that are looking for new ideas, you know, yet they don't, and this isn't to say anything about innovators, but they don't want to, you know, go out there and open it up to just a ton of people. We're a trusted company with great relationships. You know, we are constantly, and that was a great question too, because we actually have a list that our team is digging through, and we also do that on our own. You know, we say, hey, you know what? Look at this company I just found. You know, I didn't know they existed. They have all these brands, and we'll reach out to them. We'll try to find out who the contact is and then tell them who we are and what we do and say, hey, would you be interested, you know, in coming into, you know, kind of our partnership thing? And if we have an idea that we think might fit your category, you know, can we present? We've got phenomenal relationships, and these are, you know, they, it's a business relationship, yet it's also one of those where, it's, Edison Nation, we know we have great innovators, great ideas. They know we do a good job, and they know that in turn will, benefit their company and what they're doing and as they're looking to grow. So.
Awesome. And Amy, just to piggyback on that just a little bit, it's kind of interesting, almost like there's seasons or something where there's some categories of products where it's a little more hot than others. And, since we just went through COVID, it was baking products, kitchen gadgets, and toys for kids. Is there a couple of categories right now that are really kind of hot for ideas?
Go figure. Medical, huge. I mean, and people are actually looking at those. We've got a couple right now, presented in front of some companies. So the medical, I would say kitchen gadgets are there, definitely the kitchen, of course, the pet, but we've seen a lot too, with kids staying at home with their parents now. Parents are seeing all these other things. So we're seeing quite a few different innovations, and I've seen, a lot of things with the kid market. So, children's toys and, and things and needs and things like that.
Awesome.
So,
thank you.
Yep.
Okay. And then,
okay. And again, this kind of, I love, after my timing slide, I had to throw this in. There can be slow process, but quitting won't speed it up. So going on your own or whatnot, if you're a creative person, if you have ideas, don't give up. Again, stay connected with people. You will be sorry, 15, 20 years from now, when you think back on it and you say, why didn't I? If you don't want to do it yourself, throw it over to Edison Nation. Even if it doesn't make through the 8-stage process, if maybe there's not, it doesn't mean it's a bad idea. Maybe there's not a big enough mass market appeal, but you did something with it. Isn't it better to do that than, to look back and say, I wish I would have, I wish I would have done it. So, we want to keep, we want everyone to keep that in mind.
I see Catherine's got her hand up.
What?
Catherine?
Okay, I'm new to Zoom, so hello?
yes.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, I'm new to Zoom, so I hope I don't lose you. But I also have a medical device that I have received a patent on in 2016. And the most frustrating part for me is that I keep hitting walls, especially trying to navigate the FDA website. How do you actually go about navigating the FDA and getting past that red?
That's a whole nother ball game. That is more, I almost want to say, I don't want to say it's legal, but the FDA, that's a whole nother ball game. You are, that's big league there, and can't be done, but it's patience and persistence. And honestly, you hit a wall, that's okay. You try that. I'd rather hit a wall and say no, and know that not to keep tracking down that way, so you find another road to go down or another opportunity. Are you part of an inventor group anywhere?
Tape. I'm in Arizona.
Okay. Is she part of your group?
Yes, I actually attend the meetings periodically, but I'm actually not an official member yet.
Okay. Very cool. That might be something, I don't know, Laura, that, if
Sure, absolutely. Catherine, email me afterwards and we'll exchange numbers and have a conversation. So, just to see if there's anything that we can do for you, go ahead, email me, exdir@azinventors.org.
Okay,
so this is not something that Edison Nation Medical can do?
Well, Edison Nation Medical could, but the FDA stuff, and that like I said, you're talking, we've got a great team back there, but the whole FDA thing is something that it's just going to take so much longer. There's a lot of R&D, there's a lot of, legalism. And there's just so much that goes into that I'm just not sure. I don't want to say no, but I also don't want to, string you along and say, yeah, absolutely. Our team has that in the bag. That's just, that's a big thing. It's so much different than just licensing a product. So, I mean, I know someone right now who's been trying to get through, you know, the FDA stuff for, oh my God. And this is a big company. This is a pretty big company, and they have a product they've been, I mean, I don't even know how long they've been dealing with that, trying to get that approved. So.
Okay, Laura, you'll have to give me your email address.
It's on our website, but it's EXDIR, stands for Executive Director. So just EXDIR at azinventors.org.
Okay, thank you.
And then Amy, you're going to be sharing your email address afterwards.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
We have a couple of questions about that. So
Yeah,
we'll get your
absolutely.
contact info later. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Looks like Ray Anthony's got his hand up again. Ray, you there?
Does. Yeah, let's see. Ray, I've just asked you to unmute. There you go.
Yes. Yeah, I don't mean to be a pain, Amy, but Amy, okay.
You're not.
Okay, is fitness products very popular in Edison Nation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fitness
Product is popular all over, especially now. I mean, people are looking at, you know, I mean, gyms were shut down for how long? You know,
That's
and
right.
a lot of people, not only were they shut down, but a lot of people had said, you know what, now I have a whole home gym, or I have these, you know, this equipment at home that, you know, I don't need to go to the gym. So
Yes, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. My ear size, every home in the United States. All right, have a nice day. Have a
All
nice
right.
night. Bye.
Okay, and Amy, we have one more question here from Alex again. So I've just asked Alex to unmute. And
Thanks, Amy.
there we go.
I just did a quick patent search with Edison Nation as the assignee.
Uh-huh.
There's not a whole lot that has been published in the last couple of years. So I'm wondering,
Okay.
do most people already have a patent when they submit to you, or you know, what's?
We have, I'd say we have a good handful that do. The products that already have a patent, you know, obviously are easier for us to license with companies. You know, we've got a good handful. What happens when we license a product, if someone has it patented, is they assign the rights over to Edison Nation. You know, and that gives us the ability to work with that product and the manufacturer. Otherwise, we couldn't, you know, do anything with the product. So they do assign us the rights if it's already patented, you know, which allows us to work with, you know, with the product and manufacturer as well. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Amy, I think
We
that's
good?
all the questions for
All
now.
right. Okay. I'm gonna jump through some fun stuff. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So that's what we do. That's how we do it. And hopefully you guys all took a little bit away about what you know, the things you should look at that are really important. Again, the driving points are, you know, the differentiation, you know your competition, pick out, you know, what makes yours innovative. You know, what are those things? Licensing success. So this one is fun. This one, we've got some great stories behind these. Sometimes, you know, we get these licensed and, you know, they don't make quite the mark that, you know, everyone was hoping they would make, as, you know, real life, it does. This one here is fun. This was invented by Ricardo. And this was one that he thought of. And I want people to think of these as we go through these and kind of the idea behind them. But he had a child who couldn't swallow pills. You know, it's hard for kids to do. And so he thought of this idea, and this was the Easy Dose. And all you do is this goes on a regular water bottle. You put the pill in there, and then you drink just like, you know, you would drink out of a water bottle. It's just a very natural way to take a pill. Very simple product, very inexpensive to manufacture. You know, a nice success for him there. So those little things that you can do, you know, those problems that you find to find a solution for that are just phenomenal. This is a fun one because this one we just launched on Amazon a few weeks ago. This is Danny Blacker. His very first submission to Edison Nation actually turned out, this was originally with Bed Bath & Beyond about 3 years ago. Bed Bath & Beyond took it as a licensing product. It's sold at Bed Bath & Beyond. We took it back because we felt it could do better. So we took the rights of this product back. Shower Lily now we have selling on Amazon. So everyone needs to check that out. It's fun to support a local inventor. I actually bought these for my kids and it's really neat. It's the innovation thing here is the handle. So this loofah actually gets attached to this, and you can see kind of on the picture there, there's a, kind of some ruts that you put it in, so you can actually change out the loofahs, but it's a nice angled brush, so you can get your entire back, whatnot. So that's a shower lily that was invented by Danny Blacker, and we're really excited to have that back on Amazon. This is a cool story. This is the one I was telling you about, Laura, about 5 months, in all. So, and this was a brand new licensing partner we had never worked with before. Jessica works a lot in the medical field. And so she's very good at seeing how she can help. She goes in home and she helps people who are transitioning. And so she goes into homes and she sees a lot of things that, that would make people's lives easier, who are ill, who are recovering at home and things like that. And so her product, Table to Go, was a product. She literally made her prototype out of a hat box and some kid swords. That's it. She had less than $20 in it, but she was able to show our team, again, we went through this, through her description and her benefit statement, what this product was. She did not have, besides that prototype, this was not a patented product. This was just Jessica's idea. Like I said, a prototype made with some items she got from the store and just a great description. We were able to get this licensed. The company that had this licensed now has put in, I think the last I heard, it was over $40,000 in different prototypes to get it to where it is now. Okay. They are finishing up the final IP because the IP has changed a little bit from the initial. Jessica paid $25 to submit this idea. This company has taken on all the prototyping cost, the manufacturing for the prototypes, all the IP cost. And this hopefully will be out on the market. We just got an update, I think, last week. Like I said, they're finishing up that final IP on it. And, hopefully we'll be seeing that in the market, which obviously we'll shout out within a couple months. But so this is just so neat. And this is an example of, an innovator who didn't have to put really anything into it, but just the thought and a little bit of research, so I love her story. I love her story. The fact that, a company who saw this is the one who's funding this and is the one who's, putting all the money and the backing behind it. So that's really, really what we love to see. This is a neat story. Franklin Ramsey, this product we've had for a long time, and we actually just renewed with some new companies a licensing agreement. I love this story because this just talks about how our team that we have consistently works. You know what? If we see more opportunity for a product, even after we have it licensed, let's say that licensing agreement is going to expire, but we can take it here, we can take it there. You know what? The market's changed a little bit, so now there's new opportunity for it here. Our team will take it. It's not like it's one and done. Our team will look for existing opportunity. We'll look for chances if we can to relaunch products, to kind of revive them if we feel something's changed in the market, or we look at something like, what? We don't like how that was done. We think, it would be better now or this way. So we've just got a phenomenal team who really, it's just a heart and a soul behind these innovations. And the neat thing is Franklin's innovation is just that little round piece right there. He was tired of the trash bags falling into the trash cans. And so his innovation is what's called Pressix. And it's a little round thing that has, little like slats in it that you can stick the trash bag in so it doesn't fall into the can. So that's a simple innovation, yet now, this is something that you see in trash cans and, all these big box stores and stuff like that. So it's an innovation that can be used, in lots of different, lots of different ways in these products. Real quick here, live product search. Sure, live product search, like I mentioned, is when a company comes to us and say, we want to expand on our product line, but we don't have any, great ideas. Will you put this out? Levinshin a few months ago did a, they said, we want new innovations to help people get to sleep at night. The search is closed, but we opened it up. They gave specific criteria. And, people were able to submit their products, their ideas, and, why their, idea would help, people get a better night's sleep. So that was a fun one. Simple slides, another one too. This is cool. This is one where you have the curtains. A simple idea, and sometimes when you pull them open or shut, it pulls on that rod, and that rod sometimes goes back and forth. Well, this is a simple slide. So just a very, very simple thing. And the neat thing about this is they had no prototype. And so this product was licensed with just an idea, with just a, hey, I think. And what the licensing team did literally was back there before they presented it, because they had interest in this product, was they got together and they were back there and they were like sewing and doing all this awesome stuff that they could do to make sure that when they presented this product, they had something working, to show that the value proposition of it. So again, our team is just phenomenal. And again, it's the presentation of that idea. If you'll notice, that's what's getting these things through. It's how you present them. I just think this is a fun one. This was with Boston Candy. They wanted a new way of packaging candy, and so this is like it's the taffy, or the what is that? The kid, that gross stuff that kids like, that sour.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called, but yeah.
And then little bugs. So I mean, innovation can be, silly and fun and gross all at the same time. So, but this was another live product search with Boston Candy. This is an idea of our design challenge. And so this was Parasta. It's one of our brands. And they were looking for, this was a really cool one, because all that was in this design challenge was, okay, we create these huge giant coloring posters. Okay, you can put on the wall or whatnot. And we want ideas for, around the world, like landmarks, maybe something from India. And all they were looking for was a PDF or something like that, something sketched up that someone could sketch up, and then convert it to a PDF for a national landmark that they could make into a giant coloring poster. So it was very simple. It was very creative. We had some great submissions from that, but again, just another way to kind of engage the community and to have people maybe invent outside what their, usual boxes. So those are always fun. This was one of our As Seen on TV products that went really big, the Bacon Bowl. And this was, a guy obviously who loved his bacon, but As Seen on TV is another product category that we work at. We actually right now currently have a product that we have that's being tested that got through, the ranks of our search of our stages, is being tested right now. And I'm going to say this again with timing. We were talking about this in our team meeting today, and they're waiting to hear back from the marketing team. I mean, we can't call them every day. We can't call them, and constantly check up on that. We have to trust their process. And so, it's kind of like one of those things, we were speaking about earlier, where sometimes it's tough to wait, but we've got to be, if we want to keep these relationships, we've got to be respectful of the time frame and the fact that these are businesses and this is how they run as well. But, As Seen Team and Market, fantastic. They are right now, though, it seems like their price point, it used to be a lot of times you see things below like $9.99. Just to let everyone know, they're looking at like $19.99 and up. That seems to be their sweet spot. So if a product comes in and it's less than, the $20 mark, it's a lot harder sell for them to get interested in. So just a little inside information on that one.
That is new, because they used to focus on $19.99. Now you're saying that they're
going
looking
a little
for more.
They want something,
or something,
they're looking for something. Not saying it wouldn't, but when we bring them products and whatnot, this last one that we actually have tested, that was a conversation we had, and it was something they said that they're looking for. The price points kind of changed a little bit. So not to say they wouldn't. I mean, if you have an idea, go for it, right? The most you're going to get is a no, at least you tried it. But just to, sweet spot,
Is this a good time for another question? I have one that popped in my mind.
Absolutely.
between you and the inventor, as you work through let's say you go through successfully all your stages of evaluation, you're out there presenting and so forth. At what point in time do you or the inventor decide, hey, we're done? What's the exit strategies look like if you decide, or one or both of you decide it's time to exit? How does that work?
Usually, I mean, it depends. I mean, like I said, we've actually had some people where it gets like to stage 7 and we're presenting and we get someone who says, hey, we're interested in this product. And we've had inventors say, oh, you know, I mean, there's nothing worse than that, you know, getting to that stage and then having an innovator say, I mean, there's nothing we can, you know, before a product gets licensed, let's say that licensing agreement, another agreement has to be signed. So technically when you submit to Edison Nation, you have that innovator agreement. Like I said, it's online. Read it, get familiar with it. We want to be transparent. And so it's technically signed when you submit, okay? Because it also has our NDA in there, okay, and explains that. But before obviously it goes and we get that licensing agreement, there's another contract to be signed, you know? So we would hope, you know, that at that point the innovator's, you know, going to stick through to the end. But you know, so sometimes it happens and they back out, and you know, which is unfortunate. We never leave anything, you know, in you know, in a bad situation, if that makes sense. If we've exhausted our efforts and we've shown it to so many companies, you know, then I mean, it's, and the innovator, it's their idea regardless. You know, so if we've exhausted our efforts, we'll come to the innovator and say, you know, we've tried, we've presented to X amount of companies and we're just not, you know, and then it's entirely up to the innovator whether they want to leave it in the system or, you know, or take it out, do something on their own. It's entirely up to them what they want to do. So.
Okay, yeah, so you can quit at any time, you just by not applying any more efforts because it isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
But the inventor may lose his patience with the fact that, hey, we've submitted to 20 companies and we're 0 for 20, and the inventor might just say, I'm at my patience limit, and he or she can just exit at that point.
They can.
And Amy, let's say they get to that point, all of this has only cost them $25.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
Okay, so everybody needs to keep that in mind, that you know, they're behind the scenes working like crazy, and all you've done as the innovator is the idea and $25. I don't mean that to minimize it, but
no, I know. That's why you're important to us, Laura.
$25 is just awesome. It's you know, it's worth it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So we have a lot of skin in the game. A lot of skin in the game, and that's why we work so hard. And that's why we want to get these products licensed, because that is who we are. That's how we survive. That's what we exist on, you know? So it's not, you know, ever lack of effort. I mean, that is what we do. That is what we do. And that's why it's so important. That's why I kind of love our model. You know, it's not like it's upfront money and, oh, you're forgotten about, you know, we got, it's no, we're literally, you're paying like a due diligence, like, hey, I did my homework. Our team is working tremendously hard, you know, to see what they can do to license this product. And we don't get anything off of it until we find that partner. So our team works extremely hard to make sure it's successful for everyone. So.
And Amy, we have another question here too, from Jamie. He wants to know if there's non-exclusive license deals possible.
It's possible. That is, it's possible. And anything's possible. You know, I mean, really, I mean, anything is possible.
Okay. And then there's another question here too. And I think this is an important one, because those of us that have licensed before, sometimes you license the product and the licensee just kind of sits on the product, doesn't actually launch it right away. What do you guys do? How do you handle that?
As far as that goes, well, first of all, I mean, there should be, you know, minimums. You know, I mean, and we have, like I said, like the Bed Bath & Beyond product, like I said, didn't sell like we thought it should. The, you know, the one Easy Dose, I mean, those are things our team will step in at. And if we see other opportunity, and you've got to remember, the environment's changing with selling. There's a lot of D2C, and I'm going to show in a second. Edison Nation has actually launched a couple of their own brands, and so those are things that the shower lily we grabbed under Lily Gray. So we have our manufacturing capabilities and things like that. So if we don't feel it's doing justice here, and we think, you know what, we might be able to do something with it here, we're going to take it. We're gonna see what we can do with it. So I mean, we look for all opportunity possible. We really do.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all the questions for right now.
Okay, all right. And I know I'm keeping long. I'm probably keeping you guys really long, so I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It's awesome.
Try to zip through here. Everyday Edison's TV show. So this is fun. This actually started. Gosh, I want to say 2000. I want to say 2008. But this was where the first 4 seasons are literally from idea conception to prototyping. If you have not seen it, they're phenomenal episodes just to kind of get the whole gist of the process. So these are people who came in, they had ideas, they took them through the process of making the prototypes. Prototypes failed. They redid the prototypes, and it was just the whole process of taking an idea from conception to an actual product that went on the market. We actually just reinvigorated the show last year, and it's streaming for free. Season 5, episode 1. It's kind of a teaser episode to show how we've changed it, and then seasons 1 through 4 are all on Crackle right now. It's a free streaming platform. You can download it on your phone or your TV or whatnot. But it's a really fun show to watch just to get an idea of the process that goes behind it. 2006, it says right there. We won, 2 Emmy Awards with it. The new format is only 30 minutes. The previous show was an hour and went through the whole process. But we've got judges, and it's fun. I mean, it talks about, some of the great things that, you can draw the product, the innovation, the thing that makes it different. And again, seasons 1 through 4, first episode of season 5 is now on Crackle. We do have some more, coming up and out. We're looking for best opportunities. So we're excited to share those. And then we actually have season 6, which we, have ideas still in our database, and we have our team going through them and things like that. So we'll be excited to see, what kind of comes out of that. So just stay tuned, stuff to come. Val was our, she was the success story from the season that we actually aired on season 5. She invented the Snozzle Pro, and this is actually an attachment that goes on any hair dryer to attach like your diffuser. So phenomenal product. She was tired of drying her hair and then, having the diffuser or the attachment fly off of it. And plus after a while they get cracked and broken. So she literally came up with this product, again, very inexpensive to manufacture. And so we're, just thrilled to have Val as part of, our Everyday Edison's team there. And then this is a fun one. This is Ken Joyner. He's been a longtime Edison Nation member. He was on season 4 of Everyday Edison. And this product actually made it to market, licensed with OxyClean, but actually also on the, that Today morning show with Kathy Lee. So, there's a little bit of celebrity in there too. So always fun to see that. Again, one of my quotes, perseverance. It's not giving up, it's persistence, tenacity, the effort to do something and keep doing it till the end, even if it's hard. So, you know what, if you love what you're doing, if you believe in your product, just keep at it. If you have those down things, connect with someone, connect with, we've got, like I said, we've got a great community at Edison Nation. So connect with the people on our forums. If you're part of the Arizona Inventors group, just reach out, but persevere, keep doing what you love. I want to talk real quick. So we are a free membership completely. It's $25 to submit an idea. We have something also that's called the Insider Member, and we just switched this up, and I absolutely love this because if you are an idea person, if you are a person, not everyone's going to be a great fit for Edison Nation. People are going to want to license on their own or make a business out of their idea, and that's great. For idea people, we have got something called the Insider Membership, and it's $99 a year, but the $99 comes with 4 free submission coupons. And so that pretty much means it's paid for itself. So if you're an innovator with a ton of ideas, and these coupons don't expire, it's just one of those things that makes sense, because not only do you get your 4 free submission coupons, which takes away the cost of the membership, if you have additional ideas, they're only $20 to submit. You can, oh my goodness, there's so many things. We actually have every month we send out a discount coupon code for an Edison Nation product. So you get discounts on Edison Nation products. You get a year issue of Inventors Digest. With that, you also can opt in. So let's say that we're running an Everyday Edison's TV show, I can't say it, search. And you're going to submit an idea in the kitchen category search. Okay, the open one. You can actually take the idea, your kitchen category, and you can actually opt it in, is what we call it. So you can take your idea from this search and also put it in this search, and also put it in this search. It doesn't cost you anymore. So it's called an opt-in feature, where you can actually take that one idea and submit it to multiple searches, and it doesn't cost you anything. So there's lots of fun, like I said, perks and things like that that come with it. So you can email me if you have questions on it. But if you're an idea person, if you know you're going to be submitting a couple products, or you think you might want to, I definitely think it's worth considering. So that's just a fancy way. These are some of our product lines, like I said, that we have under our own Edison Nation brand. So these are a lot of fun. The Everyday Edison's ones, we're hoping you're going to see more of. That's what we want to brand the products that we were just talking about before. When we see a product that could have done better, or we want to bring it under one of our own lines, we're hoping that everyone's going to see a lot more of the Everyday Edison, made by Everyday Edison products. And that, kind of the script with that is like a little Jane Doe with the, Inventors character and just their first name under it. We want people to know, we want to brand Inventors, independent inventors, kind of as their own brand. You know what, this product that I bought, look at this, how cool is this? It's made by an Everyday Edison. So we're really excited about that, and the opportunity that, shows not only to the inventor who made it, but to other independent inventors say, wow, that could be something I could do. Some fun stuff that we do, Morning Mug at Edison Nation. This is where we like to get together, just two-on-one, I should say, with an innovator, have a talk where they're able to ask us questions and things like that. So that's something fun. We have an Edison Nation product review group, and we had a ton of products back in, oh my goodness, I think February, March. We had a lot of products up available on the site. And what happens is we would put products out there that we're looking for reviews on. These are new products. We have Parasta up there right now. So all you do is need to go to our Edison Nation Facebook page, look for the product review group, and then on that, click you want to join. We'll sign you up. Right now we have the Parasta posters. We send a gift card for the purchase of the product. The person receives the product, and we just ask for a review. So it's a free product, and we just, check it out, see if you like it, and give us an honest review online. So it's a good way for us to keep track of our products and make sure that our quality is up there, and, and we're doing good things. So do you mind if I escape and grab my computer charger before my computer dies?
Yeah, that would be a great idea. Okay. All right.
I'm just glad she knows where to find it. I probably wouldn't be able to find mine.
Yeah, same here. Well, we're waiting for Amy to come back. Oh, there she is. Okay. There we go.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, that's good.
Well, I can talk. I had 100% when I started.
Amy, before we have a question here from Doug Massey, who's one of our members. And
okay, hold on. I just had someone join me. Hold on. Hold on. What? Oh, you can't hear people. Late out here.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. This is Chris Ferguson. He's our CEO.
Hey. Hi. Hi, Chris.
Glad to join you guys. Thanks for spending time with Amy, who is obviously the heart and soul of Edison. So I'm glad you guys took the time to hear the story.
Yeah, and he has something he's gonna say in a minute. But go ahead. What was the question?
This is from Doug, and he said, if I have my product in stage 6, which has been there for several months, and changes or new revision to that product are in the process, does he need to resubmit the new designs once they're complete?
No. So if this is the same product, all you do is get onto your submission online, and this is really important. So in your title and your header, in capital letters, write update. So UPDATE, the date of the update. So if it's today, it's 10/8/20, and then just a few words on what you're updating, and then go into that submission and either add those attachments or make the note. Our team sees that. Whenever an idea is changed, or we get a notification, it's like a red flag in the backside of the website, so we see that. But we also like it when the innovator acknowledges it up in the header. It's just kind of a 2-point, making sure no one misses it kind of thing. That was a great question. So thank you. That's an excellent question.
And I've unmuted Doug. Is that Doug? Do you have anything else?
No. I guess if we have additional, we just got confirmation today, I did from Alex, by the way, for a second patent. Are those things that we should supply as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah. The more information, I mean, that is just phenomenal stuff. And it just, because sometimes, where your team's back there, and if they're questioning one thing, and maybe you have that extra little piece, like you said, you're working on, something that, with that patent that changes, that could be just a flipping point, on what our team might be talking about and working on. So absolutely. I mean, that is so important. Please. Yeah.
It's in a rehabilitation, aquatherapy type.
Okay, yeah. And if you ever have questions, I mean, you'll get my email at the end of this. We also, at the bottom of our website, on every page, we've got our phone number, and then our support team is questions@edisonnation.com. And those actually go to real people. If you send a question into questions, it will see, kind of what it's about, and it'll get directed to the right person. So we make sure that, we try to take care of the questions, in the best way we can. So.
Okay, thank you, Amy. And that's all the questions for now.
Okay, great. Again, I'm just going through some fun stuff. This was Inventor of the Month. We have an Inventor of the Month every month. We love them. Our community is made up of inventors, and something we like to do is when we talk to them and say, hey, you're Inventor of the Month, we always get kind of a quote or something that inspires them or encourages them. And it's just kind of a good way, not only for them to kind of re-engage, but also to, put out a light to the other people of the community. And they also get a free submission, when they're chosen as Inventor of the Month. And Alicia, she's phenomenal. She's from LA, and just a beautiful person, entrepreneur for her whole life. And it's just fun to, get to know our innovators on a different level like that. Okay. Ideal fun. We went through that. Oh, here we go. This is what I brought the man in for.
There we go.
We have got some fun stuff going on. We work with, obviously ideas that come into our portal, to license them with companies. And so Chris is here because he has got a passion project. This man, he's obviously a huge entrepreneur, a business person, but a heart of understanding that sometimes to, make a business grow or to get to that next level, there has to be opportunity for the people. You have to provide those things to, to get people to bridge that gap. And how can you do that, best for the people so that it is, good for them and they're not, they're not in harm. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. You talk.
Let me take a shot at it. So obviously, look, what the mission at Edison is, and what we really strive to achieve is, hey, let's get as many of these products commercialized as possible. Let's get them out in the market. And so many times, what is that, huge stumbling block? If you've taken your product, your widget, and you've gotten to that point, you're like, wow, I'm ready to really see this go. And maybe the licensing avenue hasn't actually worked, and you haven't found that right partner to bring it to fruition. we've created a sister fund that will finance that first set of inventory for you. And this is a fund that does it and puts a commitment to do a year's worth of inventory for you, and doesn't ask you, it's not a loan, we're not asking they personally guarantee it. It is literally, hey, we'll buy that first set, that first minimum order quantity, whatever it would be, and let's get that on Amazon or other marketplaces and see if we can commercialize that product and really make it work, and really see if we have something that goes from, hey, I have this prototype and I have this thing that might be reality, and really bring it to that first chance to see if it will sell and see if it will get into the hands of consumers and be something that can be a real actual business. So we're super excited about that. We call it the Forever 8 Fund. It's sort of a sister fund that sits alongside of Edison Nation. It just came live. I think we financed sort of our first about 15 SKUs. And it's super exciting. It's something that we are really passionate about, because it gives that inventor and that entrepreneur that next key metric to be able to get their product and make a reality, which is, hey, I can now actually do a run of 5,000 units or 3,000 units or whatever it is, and I can get them out there, I can get them on the market, and I can see if it resonates with consumers. So that is something we just launched, super excited about it, and I think it'll give us that ability for what we talk about at EN is more wins, right? We want to see as many wins as possible, as many people commercializing their products, getting them out in the market, and seeing if we can take, what is a cool idea and really bring it to reality.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we're fired up about it.
My goodness, that's an opportunity I've never seen before. So
we think it's pretty unique. Yeah, we're super excited. You guys can check it out at forever8fund.com. It's brand new. We are really, excited about what it means for our inventors, for the innovators on our site, and really taking that, what is that crucial step, and we really try to bring down those walls and those barriers to what do we need to do to commercialize these products, and a lot of times it's that first order, right? That first order is the toughest order to pull off, and so we said, why don't we create a fund that will do that will put up the money for that first order. And so that's what we put together, just started it. And the reception has been amazing. People are super excited about it. And so we're, very happy to get that message out and have Amy deliver that to everybody, and fired up to see what it turns into.
That's awesome. And Chris, you said this is forever8fund.com, and is that listed on your website also?
So yeah, if you go to just www.forever8, the number 8
fund. The number 8.
Yeah, it's not on Edison Nation. It's while they're kind of sistered because of the it's a separate.
Oh, okay, I think that helps. Okay, thank you. So I hope everybody got that. Forever8fund.com.
Yeah, so and you guys are we haven't we've only done sort of a soft launch, so you're really the first group getting to hear about it. And
all right.
I pulled him in here for that.
Yeah. So,
I already know a couple of people that could.
Yeah, Amy gave you the inside scoop. So you're seeing it before really we've launched it to the world, but it is up and officially running. And like I said, we probably financed in the last month of September about 15 different SKUs, and it's going well, and we're super excited about what it ultimately can be. So you're getting that super early sneak peek into what it is, and we really think it's a great thing. And again, it brings down that one of those barriers, right, that I think a lot of inventors run into is, wow, I've done it. I found a manufacturer. I have a prototype. I love it. Oh, I wish somebody would license it. And you just can't make that connection. But you're like, oh, you know what? Let me try this myself. And now we have a fund that is there to help you get that next step to trying it yourself.
And what about the
awesome?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, it even, as you'll see on the site, if you already are up and running and are selling a few units, the fund will also even write you a check for your existing inventory and fund your next round. So we're really trying to create, especially now right, the new reality is, you know, what was 10 years ago, it was, oh my God, how do I get into Walmart? How do I get into Target? How do I get into all these big box stores? With, you know, what we're all facing today and the fact that, you know, we're not, you know, nobody's running out to stores as much as we have in the past. And that was true even before the pandemic. The pandemic has now probably accelerated that, you know, 5 or 7 years into the future, that, you know, there's some big box stores that'll stay around, but the, you know, the way that consumers interact and make purchases is now online. And the Forever 8 Fund is understanding that reality and saying, hey, if you have some inventory or you finally want to take that step to get inventory, we're going to help you, and we're going to get this product onto those marketplaces like Amazon, like Walmart.com, which is cool because now the reality is you can, you know, what used to be like, how am I going to get my first customer? How am I going to get it into Bed Bath? How am I going to get it into Best Buy? How am I going to get into these stores? The reality is now your first customer is Amazon. Your first customer is Walmart.com, you know, and in one of those marketplaces. So then the hurdle to get there is, how do I get inventory to put my products on those kind of marketplaces? And we tried to use Forever 8 Fund to solve that issue.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we're fired up.
Yeah, I can see that's awesome. And let's see, Amy, will you stop your screen share so we can see everyone?
Hold on. Stop. Oh my God. Stop share. There we go.
There we go. Okay, I'm going to go actually to gallery. Now, can everybody see everybody? There's a lot of people on. Can you guys see everybody?
Hold on.
I think so.
There we go.
All
Everyone
right.
you on.
Okay. So we're coming up here on 9 o'clock, which, okay, Amy and Chris, what time is it where you are? Is it 11 or is it 12?
It's 12. It is started October 9th.
That is I mean, you both look awesome at midnight. Okay.
I'm surprised he actually showed up.
There we go.
Well, great. So Amy, in closing, do you have, you know, a few remarks that you may want to make to everybody all at once? And I'm going to actually ask everybody to unmute yourself while Amy is talking here. Okay, Amy.
Okay. Yeah. No, I first just thank you guys. Thanks for, you know, joining us. I absolutely love connecting with people and talking with people and seeing what we can do, you know, whether it's through EN or on your own to get you there. I mean, I believe it's just something, if you're passionate about it, you love to do it, you just do it. You know, you find a way, but most importantly, you connect with people. Laura, I've told you before, I love what you do. You are so passionate. I've, you know, heard you talk in the IGA, the leadership meetings. And let me tell you, if you are part of the Arizona group, you know how blessed and lucky you are to have her, you know, at the forefront in doing this. And she is so passionate about Inventors and the people. And it is just, I'll tell you, you are a blessing. So if you are part of the Arizona group, you are blessed. Know that. This lady will take to all
guys, I paid her to say that.
And if you're not,
the under the table.
If you're not, then, you know, reach out, connect with them. These inventor groups are just so phenomenal in with the resources and the education and learning from other people. They are just fantastic. And then, like I said, EN, you don't have to ever submit an idea to us. Become part of our community. You know, sign up. If you sign up, you can sign up for our newsletter. We don't inundate you. We literally send
Hi, Chris.
newsletter. Yeah, like, you know, once a month.
Should I share our screen?
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Amy. And the reason why I ask everybody to unmute is put your hands together and say thank you. Thank you very much. Awesome presentation, Amy.
And let me shout out my email address. That was on my last slide, but of course
okay.
It's A for Amy, and then my last name, it's CARROLL. So A Carol at edisonnation.com. get both ends in there. So it's Edison Nation. Sometimes, you know, the ends look a little funky smashed together, but so acarol@edisonnation.com.
Okay.
And I would love, if you guys have questions, reach out. I'd love to, like I said, if I can, I'll try.
I'm going to mute everybody here. Okay. Okay. Well, Amy, thank you very, very much. And Chris, thank you for joining us. And
So
yes,
everything
it
you
was
guys
awesome.
do.
Okay. All right, y'all. You have a nice evening. Stay safe. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye, guys.
You also. Good night. Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.